all, Cynthia here from MB Pretty Papers, up on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel today with a stash it layout, and I'm going to do one in my Traveller's Notebook. So I've grabbed this cut file here, and I'm going to pull inspiration from obviously the inspiration piece, and there it is there. So I've pulled a couple of different things. One, the circle element, so you can see that repeated in a couple of the images. That's where I have the cut file and that other circle. Also, I've pulled in the purples and the greens, the bright vivid greens, and an animal as well. So it has a lamb in it, but I'm going to use a bird for this layout. So this is going through my stash here, and this is my scraps. I'll get the word out in a minute. And I'm pulling out, looking for some nice bright greens and some purples and some yellows. So those are all the colours that were in that inspiration piece. I'm going to use these to back my cut file with. Now I have to say the cut file itself is not truly from my stash, as I received it in my March kit from the Wild Hare Kits, but it just went well with the inspiration piece, so I'm going to use it. But everything else is from my stash. I did think I would use that Rome tag for a while, but I don't end up using that on the page. That as basically because it wasn't from my stash, and I thought I could make it work without it anyway. So grabbing this piece of paper down here, which once again, as I said, and I'm going to use that bright green piece there to back my leaves with on this cut file. So I'm just putting chunks on, and while the glue is still wet, I'll let it dry, and then I'll come back in a bit later and fussy cut them out. And while I'm doing that, I'll just move on to work onto another part of the page. So I'm going to put this yellow polka dotty paper down on the left hand side here. I believe that is from, I'm going to say, a Die Cuts with a View paper pad. I think that's where it's from. I put the glue down on the page, then I stick the whole piece on, then I turn the page over and trim it out, and that's what I've done there. That the piece of paper is that same collection as what this green strip's from as well. So, and I actually come back in a little bit later on and put another piece of pattern paper on the right hand side, which is also from the same paper collection. So I'm having a look here to see whether I want the flower and the petals to be all one colour, or whether I want to have different shades of purple, and I've decided to go for different shades of purple. So I'll do exactly what I did with the leaves. I'll go through and glue a colour down to each petal, and then I've roughly fussy cut it out there, but once it's dry, I will go back in and trim it up and make it look all nice and neat. So the pages start to come together, but I want to put something, as I said, on this left hand side. I want to bring that yellow across. So I'm thinking about backing that yellow behind the cut file just itself. So I'm going to put this green, I don't know what you call them, twigs or branches, whatever this green paper is. I'm going to put that down here on the right hand page, and then put the floral piece, the cut file, on top of that. And there you go, that's how I'm going to bring the yellow in. You just saw me tuck it in behind the cut file to see whether that will work after I change my tape. There you go. Forgot to turn it back on, but you didn't miss anything. Just gluing it down. So just going to put some glue around that base and stick it down. It wasn't quite wide enough to cover the whole cut file. There's a couple of little bits just in among the petals and the flowers there. So I'll trim this down, and then I'll just glue the second piece down. You don't even notice it in the end. There's not one solid piece. Trimming around that. Tucking my little birdie back in. So this is our new rooster, the rooster that we had unfortunately got attacked during the middle of the night. So we've lived here for 15 odd years. We've never locked our chooks up. They just go into their chook pen at night, and they just roam free across the paddocks. But we went through a period of maybe about a month where we lost 3 chooks and a rooster. So something was coming in during the night. No, 2 chooks and a rooster. Something was coming in during the night and was killing our animals. So we now lock them up at night, unfortunately. But this is our new rooster. We thought our girls needed a rooster. So we got this boy, and we called him Boots because he has quite fluffy legs. It looks like he's wearing boots. Our son is in the background, desperately waving hand signals, telling me that he calls the rooster Fluff. But Fluff, apparently. But my husband and I call him Boots. So he's got 2 names. So I've pulled out these bright green stickers here from my stash, and I'm just going to write roam free, because I was taking that roam from the card, and I'll put a little end sign, and so I'll say roam free and let love grow. Now what you don't see on camera is after I finished filming, I had it sitting open on my desk for a little while, and I was walking past thinking, it's just missing something. It wasn't quite balanced quite right. So I've pulled these stickers back out, and on the right hand page underneath the photo, I've just used those stickers to write the word Boots, and it really does even out the page, and you'll see that in the close-up photos that are coming up at the end. Pulled up these gorgeous gold leaves. I just love these. They've been around. I can get them from our local Kmart, and I always make sure I have them in my stash. I've probably gone through over the years, 4 or 5 packets of these. They're just a nice soft touch to put in underneath the underneath the clusters. Have this green leaf here, floral piece here, and I wanted to use that, and I'm pretty sure that's where I tuck it in. I'm trying to bring the purple in from the other side across to this page. I do have this feather, and I initially thought I would use that, but it just wasn't looking right, so I thought I might try to bring in an arrow. No. Bring back in this circle piece. No, that doesn't work. I'll try a few different things. This here is kind of from my stash. It's actually from my February quick kit, so I haven't had it for that long, but I remember having this piece on here that had that purple leaf on it, so I thought that might work out fine. So I've pulled that out, and I'm just going to use those 2 sneaky little pieces in there as well. And I decided I'll mix up the N symbol. I thought this one stood out a little bit more than what that green one did. The green just seemed to blend in a little bit with the leaves that were actually on that die cut piece. What else do? I don't do a lot more. I come back in here in a moment and do my journaling. I just write out about getting Boots or Fluff and how he roams free. And I think that would pretty much come to the end of it. As I said, there are photos coming up. So at the moment I feel, even though I go ahead and I do this, I feel it's just not quite balanced, and I leave it at this for a little while, and then I leave it sitting on my desk, and I come past and I realise that, no, it's not quite right. And actually, talking about that, I did that with the page before. You can see that when I flipped it over, I had that loose photo. I created the whole page on that previous one, and then I realised that, oh, hang on, I had this other photo that was meant to go on there. Here's the close-up photos. As always, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the process. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Don't forget to check out all the other wonderful inspiration that's on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel. And until next time, have a lovely day, a lovely week, or a lovely month. Bye.